Are you a high-performing parent, entrepreneur, or high achiever in pursuit of excellence? Welcome to The Nexus Podcast, a podcast custom tailored for families like ours, driven, affluent, and eager to lead extraordinary lives. From rockstar stay-at-home moms to high-producing CEOs, we choose to model success for everyone we are surrounded by. We prioritize health over sickness, embrace a vitalistic lifestyle, and seek to tap into the limitless potential that God has bestowed upon us. I'm Dr. Daniel Kimbley, your host, and on this podcast, we'll uncover the secrets to living a fulfilling and abundant life, where you and your loved ones can thrive physically, mentally, and spiritually. Together, we'll forge a path to greatness and unleash your God-given capabilities. Get ready to say yes to a life of true prosperity and well-being. This is The Nexus Podcast. Hey, what's up, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And this week on the podcast, what I want to talk about is something that happened in my office while we were gone over break. We always take the week off between Christmas and New Year's, and there's just this super powerful case study that happened inside of our office, and I had to share it with you today because I believe it highlights an important point about something that I believe on a very deep level, and that is this, is that every single one of us is designed to be healthy, to be vital, to express life at 100%, to express health at 100%, to develop at 100%. And, you know, I get so passionate about the brain and the nervous system and how the body works. And one of the things that we know about the brain is that synaptic development actually starts to peak at 8 months of age. At 8 months of age. So what does this mean? This means that your brain is actually creating the most connections. Your child's brain is actually creating the most connections starting at about 8 months of age. And so this is super crucial and important to the conversation that I want to share with you is because we had this case study. So we have a kid come into our office, and this is the Thursday before we leave for break. And so we're gone for almost 2 weeks, and we take care of this kid. We adjust him on a Thursday. I explained to mom how the nervous system works. She had some concerns about some immune issues he was having, has basically had a cough since he was six months old, and couldn't go away every single night, lots of trouble sleeping. They tried everything. Rounds of antibiotics, nothing seemed to work. And so we adjust him one time, and they come back into the office that following week when we get back, and she's like, literally since the first time you adjusted him, no cough, he's walking now, and just like a totally different kid. And she just kind of, like, her and her husband both, they kind of couldn't believe that something like this could happen. And the reality is like, you know, as much as I want to take credit for this kiddo getting amazing results inside of the office, like, it's not a one and done conversation. We literally have to train his brain out of the old stress pattern that it was in back into a rest and digest pattern. But what's so cool and what's so powerful is that as soon as we move the right joints of the spine, this kid had seen other chiropractors. As soon as we move the right joints of the spine, we wake up the brain, and when we wake up the brain, the body goes back into its natural healing state. And what's so cool is that when you think about the physiology of what happens during a stress response is that the stress response actually turns off the immune system. It turns off the digestive system. It weakens the frontal cortex of the brain. The frontal cortex of the brain is responsible for our feelings of safety, responsible for our confidence, responsible for our immune function. And so as soon as we wake up the brain with the adjustment, literally what happens is we see this radical change. So for a year, they've been dealing with cough, immune issues, difficulty walking, not feeling like this kiddo was like up to par with the rest of his friends and like classmates. And so we get into this place almost instantaneously where the body starts functioning better. And this is what's so cool is like, it's not me, right? It's inside of each and every one of us, this ability to heal, this ability to thrive, this ability to express life full out. And why I get so passionate about chiropractic care, like this is gonna be such a short episode, but why I get so passionate about chiropractic care is because not only have we completely transformed the trajectory of this kiddo's life, like literally from the time he was 6 months old for the last year, he's been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. Now we get him out of that stressed out state, and what's so cool is that for the trajectory of the rest of his life, he will be a different person. Because his nervous system will be functioning better. His immune system will be functioning better. His brain will be developing at a more optimal state. And this is through all the research and everything that we know about chiropractic. But what's even more exciting about it is like, we're not even taking care of mom and dad, but the relief and the breath of fresh air to not have to worry is like, is my kid, like, is there something wrong with my kid? Is my kid behind? Is there something wrong with his immune system? Should we do something else? It's like, no, he's functioning perfectly now. And the reason is because we woke up the brain through the chiropractic adjustments. And it's not me that is like the magical healer, right? It's a given within each one of us, but we have to allow that expression of life in the first place. And the only way that can be done is through a healthy functioning nervous system. And so with this powerful case study, I'm just going to have you consider that whatever you are dealing with, like whether it's the stress of life and work and finances and pain and the pain that that's causing, like maybe physical pain in your body, or the issues that your kiddo's having that everybody else told you he or she would just grow out of. It's like those things don't have to be the norm. Those things don't have to be the common thread. And so the reality is like just addressing the nervous system, making sure that your kiddos are functioning at 100% is so crucial. And I had to share this story, I had to share this case study with you to show you how quickly it can change. And we've changed the trajectory of the kiddos' life. We've changed the peace that mom and dad have inside of their lives because they're not worrying about their kid all the time. And this is why we exist at Nexus Family Chiropractic, is to radically transform people's health, to tell them the truth about how their bodies actually work, and then allow them a new level of function, of thriving, of life. And this is a vitalistic principle. My friends, I love you and appreciate you so much. If you got some value out of this, do me one of two things: leave a rating, leave a review, and I will for sure come at you again next week. Peace.